Hello, Fight Freaks. It's me, the Iron Man, Tyson Johnson. I'm here at the Universal Grappling Academy. Today is a very special guest, a bodybuilder, a business owner, a man of the world, Mr. Peter Grymkowski. Peter, pleasure to see you today.
Tyson, it's an honor to be here. You're well respected throughout not only the industry but the community as well, and it's wonderful to meet you finally.
Thank you.
My kids joined up and they love it. They love jiu-jitsu. I mean, it's just so natural for kids to roll, and you know, it's such a passive sport versus boxing or kicking or whatever the case may be, where the kids come home all black and blue. That's what we used to do. We used to do kickboxing when I was a kid, and oh boy, that was brutal, you know.
That's great.
But, yeah.
It's a pleasure having your children here at the Universal Grappling Academy as members. It looks like they're having a great time.
Oh, they love it.
You've been an excellent parent. You're watching them every day, and it seems like you're learning a little bit yourself.
Yeah, picking up on where I left off about 25 years ago. It was, 25 years ago the last time I rolled, and that was, I don't know, either Hickson or Helson Gracie at the time. I took some lessons in Hawaii, but I got more involved in the whole art of the competitions, you know, not doing it myself, but associating myself with Art Davey and Horian Gracie, and you know, it was quite a memorable experience.
And for those of you who don't know, Art Davies and the Gracies, they're the ones who started and came up the UFC. As a matter of fact, you were the sponsor for the first 3 UFCs, is that correct?
Yes, I believe it was 2 or 3 of the first UFCs. Yeah, we were involved. The only reason I pulled our sponsorship away from was because of the, I really felt there was going to be some detrimental injuries because there was no referees, there was no rules, and you know, I remember sitting in on before the event and after the weigh-ins, and listening to the basics of the rules, and the question came up, well, what rules are there then? You know, some of the fighters would say, and Horian said, well, there's no rules, but there's one rule, kind of, we don't want anybody biting or eye gouging, you know, and so I guess that's the way it turned out. And then a few UFCs later, John McCarthy was a brown belt at that time, and Gracie Jiu-Jitsu was made a referee.
Okay.
But I only pulled away because I got so interested in jiu-jitsu and the competitions, but I was afraid of the liability at that time because of the no rules. But more so, I was right involved. This would have been 92 was the first one, 93, or was it 93? I think 93, 4, and 5, yeah, we were involved. And that was right in the heyday of me licensing my Gold's Gyms, which was a license the use of the name, which was similar to a very limited franchise. Okay. We didn't have rules or what you had to do. As long as you had the right style of facility with the type of equipment that we recommended, we allowed a license for use of the name for premise use only. Okay. Yeah. So, and if they wanted to carry our Gold's Gym products, they could. If they didn't, it was fine. We didn't force them. It was not a rigid franchise, but it also alleviated the liability of me franchising and the franchise tax laws in each state throughout the country and throughout the world, where this way I was just I was licensing the use of a name for premise use only from the state of California. Okay. As a business operator, and we went around the world with it. I came out here with $43 in my pocket in 1977, and I lived under the pier for a little while, Santa Monica Pier, and so I didn't have the money to really franchise. And so when attorneys and my brother studied business law, came up with that idea. I thought, wow, I had never heard of that. But eventually Joe Gold picked up on the same idea for World Gym. So.
Gotcha. And he's talking about Joe Gold, the creator of Gold's Gym. If you don't know this man, you will. This is Peter Grymkowski. He is the former Mr. World. He is the former owner of the Gold's Gym franchise, the man who made it all happen, as well as a sponsor of the first UFC fights. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, I'm your host, the Iron Man Tyson Johnson, with our special guest here, Peter Grymkowski. We're going to be coming back to you with more interviews with Peter. Peter, I want to thank you for today. We're going to come back. We're going to talk more about the Gold's Gym franchise, how you got involved, and where it's at today, where you brought it, and how it ended up. Thank you for today, and we'll look forward to talking to you again.
My pleasure, Tyson. Thank you very much. You're a real successful entrepreneur, what we call a diamond in the rough, because what you have here is, oh my God, I mean, it's a fortune yet to happen.
We're looking for that fortune. Thank you, Peter.
Yes, sir.
We'll talk to you next time right here on Tyson Johnson's Meet the Fighter.